Jain friends, myself Sachin Jain, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering, Akgec Engineering College. Today in the series of lecture of web technology, today's topic is HTML frame, Frameset and forms. So these are the outlines of the today's lecture. What is frame and Frameset? Forms and its applications, forms methods and various types of forms fields. So what is frames and Frameset? A frameset partition a web browser window so that multiple web documents can be displayed simultaneously. If we want to display multiple pages on the same web browser window, then we can use frameset tag to display those kinds of multiple web pages. For example, if I want a permanent visible directory of links within a site, you can display one or more selected document from that site with the help of frameset. Otherwise, you need to directory of links that will appear on every page, and this scroll up with the page. So the benefit of frameset is to display multiple web documents so that they can be seen at the same time on a same window. So let's understand with an example. So in this example, here I am using a tag HTML, then head, and I am giving the title frame number 1, and this here is a frameset tag that contains columns value. Column size is 140 and there is star. Star means there is a row, rest of the portion is divided into another column. And in this frameset there are two frames that we are displaying. So frameset tag itself is not complete. There is another tag that we need to use is frame. So frame have an attribute name, source. So source of that frame. So first browser is, I am saying that this is navigation.html, and second frame is introduction.html. So they are the two frames that we are displaying in this frame set. So you can see here the whole frame. This one is your frame set. The whole frame set is divided into two columns. One is 140% and rest of the star. And here this frame navigation.html is displaying. Here another frame introduction.html is displaying in the rest of the portion. So frameset tag element replace the body element, and frameset has the attributes columns and rows. Columns is defined with the cols and rows are defined with the help of rows. These values of rows and columns can be defined in terms of pixels or percentage, or if it is not specified, then we can use star, as we have used star here in this. Star means the rest of the portion will be of window will be used to display another frame. So in this way we can define a frame, multiple frames on a same window using frameset tag. Now frames attribute, as I told you that there are name, there are source, scrolling and frame border. These are the things that we can use as an attribute with the frame tag. So the name is name of the frame, source is source file that we want to display. If we want to apply scrolling, then we can use scrolling attribute with possible value auto, yes, no. And if we want to apply frame border, then there are two possible values, 0 and 1. So we can apply frame border as well. We can apply scrolling, and these two are the important or essential attribute that we need to use when we are defining frame inside Frameset. And Frameset tag contains two possible attributes or essential attributes, rows and columns. Now another attribute that is possible with anchor tag is target attribute. It takes the name of the Frameset that used to display the information. And all the anchor tags that are used here in this mainf frame are like this. So these all are anchor tags, and these anchor tags have an attribute target, and here is the name that is common to all the frames. So in this way also we can display our various frames. Now let's see, there is a file called introduction.html, right? And this introduction.html contain HTML tag, head tag, body tag, and body tag contains three important things. One is header 2, header 4, and the paragraph. So introduction.html or navigation.html, these are the two files that are displayed inside this Frameset that are defined here, navigation.html and introduction.html. Now another type of Frameset is nested Frameset. So nested Frameset means if we are defining the Frameset inside the another Frameset. So let's see an example here. Here Frameset is divided into two columns, 140 and others, and this Frameset contain one frame that is navigation.html, and here another Frameset that is divided into rows 30% and 70%. So these are the two Frameset, 1 and 2, and this 2 is further divided into two rows, that is 30% and 70%. So what I am trying to say, that we can also define Frameset inside another Frameset. So here the main attribute, main tag is Frameset, and inside this one is frame, another one is Frameset, and this Frameset is further contains two frames, that is this one and this one, and that is divided into row wise, 30% and 70%, and this Frameset is closed here and this Frameset is closed here. The whole document is closed here. So in this way we can define Frameset into another Frameset. No frames. Some browser can't process frames, so the alternate content should be provided using the no frame element. So no frame is a element that is used when we have no frame to display on a same window. So let's see an example. There is a main Frameset here, and this Frameset is divided into columns, two columns, 140 and star, and there are two frames, that is navigation.html and introduction.html, And there is another frame, that is no frame. So inside this no frame, we am defining body tag, and I'm writing something. You can write anything here, and this body contains close, and then this no frame get closed. So in this way we can define no frame content. When there is no frame, then this content will be displayed on the browser. So in this way we can define frame set and frame tag inside our HTML document. Now another topic is forms. Forms are the user interface for data input. When we want to take some input from the user, then we can use form, and there are very many forms fields that we can use to make a GUI that can take data from the user. So the main application of forms is to provide user input for programs and database located on a web server, and for a client script associated with the form. So they are the main applications of making a form. And generally forms data are stored on a server side, and so we can say that it is a server based program that may return data to the client as a web page. Forms data can be used at the server, and client side script can read that input data. To validate the data prior to sending to the server, we can apply validation on the forms, and to use in a local processing that may output web page content that is displayed on the client to client side scripts. So these are the two things that we can do with client side scripting, like JavaScript. We can validate our data before processing the data. We can apply very local processing on that forms data. So applications of forms may be to make a questionnaire to provide feedback on a website. For e-commerce application, we can take data like name, address, purchase detail, credit card number. We can request brochure from a company. We can buy a book or CD from a web application, and we can make a book of holidays, cinema, etc. Or we can map given direction to a shop as well by the help of forms fields. So forms run a database query and receive results. That is an important part of e-commerce. When we store our data on a database, then e-commerce application use that data to execute query and give result back to the web browser. So to make a form, we can use various fields like a text field, checkbox, radio button, select button, text area, password field, button, submit button, reset button, hidden, file, image. So these are the input types that we can use on our forms, and these all are used to take data from the user. So let's see, this one is the type of text field. We can take text data from the user and it will display it like this. We can make checkboxes. We can make checkboxes like this. So all three are checkboxes, and these checkboxes are also used to take data from the user. We can make a text area as well, so or text field as well, to take text data from the user. And so this one is a text area. These are the checkbox. Here are the option fields, select options. So this one is the select. This one is a submit button, or you can say button. Again, this is the reset button. This one is a submit button. When we want to submit the user forms data, then we use submit button, or we want to clear all the entries of the forms, then we can use reset button. Another types of input can be hidden image and password field. So the and a radio button as well. So these all can be used to take data from the user, and all fields input can be used when we are making a GUI based form. So forms have two main attributes, that is methods and action attribute. Method are the attribute that specify the way the form data is sent to the server. Here the possible values can be get and post. Get append all the data to the URL and use the information that doesn't cause any change in the server data. So when we will use our method value get, then all the data will be appended to the URL. Form data will be appended to the URL and it will be displayed on a URL string. And if we am using post data, it sends the data separately and used in the form that causes the changes to the server. So we can use either get or we can use either post. Post may be treated as a secure because it doesn't display the data on a URL, and it can also take large amount of data. Another possible attribute on a forms is action attribute. Action attribute specifies a server program that process the forms data. So basically, when we will apply some action here in the forms attribute, then it will redirect your form, your file, your data on a server program. Like here I am using comments.pl. So all the forms data will, after sending, all the form data will be redirected to this file. So for redirection, we can use action field, and to send the data, we can use method attribute. Now, what can be the different types of elements? As I told you that there are various types of forms fields. So one type of form field is input type equals to hidden. So if I am writing input type equals to hidden, then all the things that we will write in the text area will be hidden and it will not be displayed to the user. And the type, name, size and value, and the other attributes that we can use when we are defining the type. Name is the identifier for the input data, size is the length for the input field, and value is the initial value that we want to display on the text. So, and it is optional as well. So here there is a form, and there are two attribute, methods and action. Action means on which we want to redirect our forms data, and method is a type of posting the data, right? And there is input name equals to name, type equals to text, and the size equals to 20. So this text field will be displayed like this. Address, again, it is a type of text and the length is 30. So this text field is smaller than this one, because there is size 20 and this one size is 30. Now another type of element is checkbox, and checkbox contains name, value and checked attribute. So if I'm writing input type equals to checkbox, and names and values are the two other attributes, then a friend and then checkbox, search engine, then checkbox. So friend, checkbox, search engine, then checkbox. So in this way we can display our checkbox, and checkbox values can also be submitted when we will submit this form. Another type of element is radio. We can make a radio button like this. So we just need to write type equals to radio, and the possible other attributes are names and values. Input type equals to button. If you want to make a button, then we can make a button. So just need to write input type equals to button here, and there are two possible attributes, names and values. Names and values like this. Another type of input is input type equals to either submit or input type equals to reset. So if you will write submit, then form data will be submitted, and whatever will be written with the action attribute in the forms will be executed as per the either get or either post. And if I am writing input type equals to reset, then this will clear all the data that we have filled in the form. So value that we will display here, and name we can give any name, and value that is displayed here. Here send is written, so send is displayed here. So this button is submit button, and this button is reset button. Another type of input element can be password, file or hidden. So we can either write password. Password will be displayed in the form of asterisk. There is a difference between input type equals to password and hidden. Hidden will display nothing, or if I am writing input type equals to password, then the input values will be displayed using asterisk. If I am writing input type equals to file, then we can make an option to user to upload a file and can be sent to the server. If I am writing hidden, then I just told you that nothing will be displayed on the input text when we will write something. Text area. Text area is just like a text, but it contains rows and columns attributes that make the size greater than the input text. So there is a only difference between the size of the text that we can specify with the two attribute calls and rows. So I'm just making a text area that with the name of comments, and here the rows are 5 and columns are 20. So you can see that the size is bigger than the simple text. Select options makes options list that can user select from the drop down menu, and we can use various options inside the select. So select contains name and options. Option that we will write, they will be displayed here. Like I'm writing option good, option selected, option ugly. So good, bad and ugly is displayed here, and this then we will close this select. Thank you.